How did I teach myself English so I can use it in the United States? First, I should tell you a bit more about my background. Where did I start learning English in the first place? In my home country, the school that I went in was in French. The primary language was French. It was not English. Of course, we had few English classes, but it wasn't that intense. The level was so good. The grammar, the vocab, the teaching was extremely good in English, but I didn't pay much attention to that because I always thought that I would go into a college in French, not in English. But then things didn't go as planned, as usual, So I ended up in an English-speaking college. I had to do my pre-medical and medical training all in English, and then my residency and fellowship was also in English. I confess that was a struggle, to be honest, because my brain was always set to speak in French, to think in French, to do writings and everything in French. How did I change that so I could be performing in English? And at that point of time, at that level, they assume that you already know the English. Since you are applying to a college, you have the grades and you passed your exams in English. But unfortunately, I knew that I was not good in that language. So I had to catch up on things, and I decided to do that method. This is the video where I explain my method. Mostly at first it was trial and error. I was following in class the science in English, but it doesn't make sense. Nothing was making sense at first. It was so difficult that I was focusing on the language instead of being focused on the science. So I decided to do the following. Without noticing that, I used to be a big fan of series, specifically Friends. Bummer, I used to watch them in French. I know, please don't blame me on that. Everything used to be subtitled in French and even dubbed in French. I decided to watch the series in English. Give it a try. And as the majority of you can tell, that Friends, non-arguably, is one of the best series in the comedy shows in history. So I binge-watched Friends in English, with subtitles in English. 10 seasons of that TV show, and I can tell you that I have improved in English. I could follow conversations in English. Sometimes I turned off the subtitles and things were working so good. Not only that, but then I started to watch more and more YouTube videos in English without the subtitles. So this is the first point. Immerse yourself in a TV show, series in English without or with the subtitles. You can turn off the subtitles when you feel that you're comfortable in doing so. I recommend to choose one TV show that you already know because you'll not be making a lot of effort to understand the meaning or the gist of the episode. And in that way, I could also enjoy my favorite TV show. Second very important point is not to translate. Think in the new language. Don't try to translate from your original language, your native language, to the foreign language. So I stopped, in fact, thinking in French or Arabic, and I started to think in English. I stopped translating word for word or meaning to meaning. No, I started thinking in the new language. I'll give you an example. In French, we say il fait froid. It's making cold. That doesn't make sense in English. I have to shift my brain. I have to stop thinking in that way. I can't say that, yes, it's making cold. It's making cold means it's cold. The weather is cold. Another example is, you say in French, j'ai faim. I have hunger. We don't say that in English. So it's clear that I should stop translating and thinking in the other language. It's time to shift my brain. Oh, the sun is here. The lighting's gonna change. It's okay. Number 3, English articles. I was studying and already reading articles for my pre-med years. So what's important here is that I used to download 1 or 2 articles, read them. They took so much effort because the first thing is there's the new language and then there's the science of it. And then I used to summarize the article in my own words in English. You can see there's a lot of work being done here, but every time I was doing this exercise, things were getting easier and easier. Choose an article, download it, read it, study it, and summarize it in your own words in English. Moving on to the other point is to read books in the new language. This is obvious. Definitely, reading books in English is going to help you improve your English skills. But don't forget to do it. Don't go to your comfort zone. Don't go to your language that you're comfortable in reading. Force yourself to read books in English. Trust me, choose books that are easier at first, obviously, but then this is going to help you immensely. Finally, consume media in English. I turned everything to English. My phone, my laptop, my social media, everything I was consuming now is in English, although I speak other languages. But now I was focusing on English and only that. So besides studying the articles in English, listening to people talking in English, it's time for me now to consume in English. Watching YouTube videos or scrolling on social media became now part of me learning this new language. And it does help when you are always immersing yourself in the new language. Things become more and more easier for your brain to acquire. A final point, really this is the final point I'm gonna touch on, is to speak and create monologues in English with myself. I started making one-to-one conversation. I created scenarios while driving, for example, that I was talking to someone in English, because you're not afraid to make mistakes when you are trying to speak to yourself. There's no one here to listen to you. You can try that, you can do that, and you can see how fluent you are or how much vocab you still need to learn and acquire. And this is the best way to create neural connections between the things that you already know and how to put them in action. And as a summary, after a year of doing so, trust me, things have evolved immensely. I still don't master this language. I still make many mistakes, but at least I can say I can speak it in a decent way. I can use it and I can talk to people, communicate, and have a decent conversation. That was my story on how I learned English on my own, although I had been taking classes in English for some time, but I didn't find myself able to speak in English in a decent way until I made these changes. I put the language to use. I hope this answers some of your questions. If you have any other questions, put them in the comment. And if you want to know how I learned Italian very quickly in a fluent level, you can check this video. And I will see you next time.